I've also been privileged to represent many grievously injured people and families who have lost loved ones. And yes, I've also represented many of our companies here in Minnesota, and I've done so proudly. They employ many people, and they do good things. We took on these cases not because it was the thing to do, but because it was the right thing to do. And I look back and I say, that's who I am. This is the things I've done. That's why I'm running. Because I know that the successes that I've had and that we've had as a nation were made possible by those who came before us. People have put the common good over the special interest. And you know, folks, in our society, with our great Constitution, there are two competing principles: the common good and self-interest. And this nation has done best when it's tilted toward the common good. Americans have a hope and optimism, and have always had a hope and optimism, that our children would have a greater opportunity than their parents. And I just look around at my own family and hope that they will have the opportunity that I had when I was growing up. I know that when I was growing up, people believed in each other, and they worked to bring out the best in each other. Americans have always understood that we need to accept responsibility and sacrifice if we are to fulfill America's destiny. Minnesotans share those values, and they want a United States Senator who not only shares those values, but advocates for those values. Today, the middle class is being squeezed from all sides. People are worried not just about their job and the security of their job and whether they're going to have their pension and health care. They're worried about educating their children, and they're worried about taking care of their parents. And for the last 6 years, under this administration, we have seen in America that it's lost its course. We have seen a war that we never should have seen. We have lost prestige across the world instead of being the moral leader. And I think most poignantly, we saw with Katrina that we could not even take care of our own citizens in time of their greatest need. We have seen our judicial system ravaged by this administration. Extraordinary rendition, the loss of habeas corpus, intermingling politics with the Department of Justice. All of these things are not what America is about, and we need to change it. And it's because of the values that I learned here in this city, where I was educated, and what I learned working in this state all my life, that today I'm announcing that I am a candidate for the United States Senate. These are serious and critical times that we face. I pledge to Minnesota that I will bring dynamic and passionate leadership to Washington. We need a Senate that will support investments that provide working men and women opportunity and security for their families. We need an America that has a middle class that is thriving and vibrant. We need to invest in education. It's the key to a prosperous America. We need a 21st century educational system. Not one that tells you how high to jump, but asks each one of our children, how high can you jump? We need an education system that provides opportunity for all of our children to reach their full potential. We need early learning because we know that's the key to success. And early learning, not just for those who are wealthy or can afford it, but early learning for all of our children. We need teacher initiatives, not government directives to control the classroom. If we get this, then our economy gets the education for the 21st century. We need to invest in health care. Health care costs have increased 73% since 2000, and wages have gone up only 15%. As a person responsible for the stewardship of hundreds of people, I understand the small business people's problems in providing health care. I know the cost, we've seen it. But we need universal health care for all of our citizens. I think it's wrong that we spend 2 times the amount on medical care as Japan, but Japan has a higher life expectancy at birth and a lower infant mortality rate. That's unacceptable in the United States of America. We need a healthcare system where the doctors make the decisions and not the insurance companies. We need insurance that's portable and that uses information technology. And we need to engage and invest in preventive health care. Global warming is not debatable in the mind of any reasonable scientist. In the 1960s, I remember when John Kennedy said, we're going to go to the moon by the end of the decade. And America accepted and met that challenge. Today, we need to engage American ingenuity, creativity, entrepreneurship to develop, fund, and maintain alternative sources of energy so that America can achieve energy independence. I passionately believe that this is one area of boundless opportunity in the 21st century for Americans to create new technology and well-paying jobs. It will help us clean the environment and eliminate our dependence on foreign oil. This is not only an economic and environmental issue, but an issue of national security. I don't know how it makes any sense for us to be so dependent on foreign oil, export our dollars to governments who are antagonistic to the interests of the United States of America. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So the possibilities of wind, ethanol, biomass, and solar power should be developed. Today, they're just in the dawn of their full potential. And one can only envision the number of jobs that can be created by us developing those technologies. And the government has a role in this. It can and should act as a catalyst to unleash and support the power of the marketplace in developing these technologies. We need tax reform. We should have a systematic review of the tax code with the express purpose of helping the middle class and creating jobs and new technologies. This administration's policies have led to the greatest concentration of wealth in the smallest number of people since the 1920s. That situation is neither fair nor in the long-term interest of this nation. The war in Iraq. You know, Madeleine Albright said recently, it's probably the worst foreign disaster in America's history. Henry Kissinger said there's no way to militarily win. We need to withdraw by the spring of next year. We need to redeploy our troops. They should be engaged in a training function. We need to support actively an institutional or an international peace conference that is under the auspices of the UN National Security Council and engages all of the regional powers, including Syria and Iran. We need political benchmarks tied to the withdrawal of our troops. You know, we went in to Iraq under false pretense.